friends, welcome, and thank you so much for being here for our full moon class. The full moon is in Sagittarius. And for those of you who this little bit of astrology conversation is new to, I'll just give you a few fun facts about Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a truth-seeking sign. And the time of the full moon is a time when things are illuminated. So this is a time that you want to watch for some truth perhaps being revealed to you. And why is that significant? Because it can help you to see something in your life in a new way, or maybe something about yourself in a new way. And that's all it takes, just one small insight, just one small change in the way you see something, in your perspective, that alone is life changing, right? Because that's what is going to begin taking action, the process of taking action. It all starts with what we believe, what we perceive, and everything flows from there. It's not quite so simple. We also need energy and courage, and that's why merging the world of astrology and the world of yoga is so powerful, because we glean all these insights about ourselves, and we take advantage of particular energies at a particular point in time through astrology. And then we work with the energy that we cultivate through our practices of Kundalini Yoga to take action and see things through. Now, this class we're not quite at the full moon. The full moon is on May 23rd, but the full moon is really an energetic event that takes place over 3 days. And those of you who've signed up for the Yoga of Astrology course, which our work today is sort of based on, or gives you a bit of a flavor for that course, you'll see that there is a full moon practice, a 3-day practice in there, because a lot of people start to feel, a little bit ungrounded during the time of the full moon, or they might start to experience a little bit of anxiety. And so there are some specific practices that you can use for every full moon. But in the course itself, we will get together every full moon to work on the particular flavor of that full moon. So the full moon is now in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is truth-seeking. It can help illuminate something about yourself, something about your life, show you something that can create a huge shift by revealing something to you. So watch for that insight, watch for that truth to be revealed, and take some time and sit with it and acknowledge it and see where that leads you. It's an adventurous sign. It encourages you to expand your horizons, and you can expand your horizons in lots of different ways. You can expand your horizons by traveling, or maybe preparing to travel, but you can also expand your horizons by learning something new. And the sign of Sagittarius is about higher education and learning, and your beliefs and your life philosophy. And that's where we get stuck. We get stuck in beliefs that we don't take time to re-examine. We carry beliefs forward from things we learned as children. We don't question our beliefs, and those are things that can keep us stuck. Now, part of why I wanted to do this work with you is, I have a personal interest in astrology, and it's a growing interest. And as I started to delve into the world of astrology, I realized how vast it was. So there are a few things I've done in this upcoming work that I'll be sharing with you in the Yoga of Astrology course for those of you who are interested. As I said, it's a vast subject, and I started off just putting together a few classes to show you how the zodiac signs align with the chakra system. And then I realized, wow, this really does astrology a disservice. It's not enough to just dabble in your sun sign and know a little bit about your sun sign. So I started to dive deeper and take certification courses and all sorts of things. And then I realized I could get lost in the depth of all of this detail to the point where I'm going to lose the plot. So what I've done is I've stripped down some essential or taken out some essential markers that you can find in your astrology chart to give you some, some key indicators on your strengths, weaknesses, capabilities, your life path, because this is what this work is all about. Kundalini energy. Your Kundalini is your destiny. We want to access our Kundalini energy and fulfill our destiny. We want to live life to the fullest. That's a very Sagittarian energy. Sagittarian energy is expansive. It's optimistic. It wants you to, take a chance. And it's all that optimism that sign carries that helps us to take that leap, take a leap of faith, and just trust that the net is going to appear. So and Kundalini is living your life to the fullest. And sometimes we just get a little bit lost, discouraged, overwhelmed, and we don't know which way to turn. And by checking in with what we see in our chart, in astrology, we find some clues. We find a way to get re-inspired. And what's cool is that this inspiration comes from something that's all about you. It's not somebody else's thoughts or ideas, which are always inspiring. It's always inspiring to listen to a lecture from someone else, or to listen to a podcast, or to read a book, or get involved in some way in the whole self-help world. But it's always someone else's ideas about what you should be doing, where this is all self-directed work. Like, no one can do your yoga for you, right? That's really all on you. And so there's an incredible level of empowerment that comes with dedicating to the practice of yoga, because it's you showing up for you day after day after day. And that's powerful. That builds trust and faith in yourself. And that's life-changing, because when we have that trust, when we have that faith, when we have that inner security, then we overcome the biggest barrier to living life to the fullest, which is anxiety, which is fear, which I know many of you high achievers here don't really want to admit to even experiencing, right? Things like, we talked in our new moon class about the same group of people, my high achievers, my A-types, and how we don't also acknowledge self-worth issues. But that's why we end up in burnout, because we're constantly pushing ourselves to prove our worth, to prove ourselves. So, this showing up for yourself day after day after day is incredibly empowering work. And when we are in that place of burnout, or we want to create, hovering on the edge of burnout, or we want to create change, and we're conscious of time, we're conscious of having lost time, we're conscious that we're running out of energy maybe, and we don't want to make a mistake. I mean, there really are no such things as mistakes, but we don't want to lose any more time. Time and energy are two most precious resources, are things that we can learn how to maximize on through yoga and astrology. Time, the time is very much linked into our themes of astrology, and Kundalini is absolutely an energy management system. So two things that are critical to us moving forward. Now, if we're wanting to make a change and we're conscious of losing time, of, energy, not quite feeling as energetic as we once did, or not even sure where this energy to create change is going to come from, that's when we can look to our chart and have maybe some validation of something we already know, because the things that you find in your chart are not going to be, they shouldn't really be big surprises. The chart is you, right? And hopefully we know ourselves, or getting to know ourselves intimately enough that that feels right and true for us. Now, it's just a piece of information on a piece of paper. When you do your Kundalini practice, when you feel what is right and true for you. So you can take this information. I mean, it's more than just information on a piece of paper. It's your destiny written in the stars. It's a little bit more than just little plots on a chart. But it doesn't feel real and true unless you can put it against your understanding of yourself. And that's why these self-awareness practices are critical. Otherwise, it's some other piece of information that's coming from outside of you versus something that you feel to be true from inside you. And that's why, although this isn't an astrology course that I'm sharing with you, I call it the Yoga of Astrology. And the class that we're doing tonight, it's just one example of small, tiny sample of the work that we'll do. What we want to do is work with the energy, really the energy that's behind that chart, and really embody what it is that we're seeing. So what is it that we're seeing on your chart? So all these, if you've ever seen it, it can be quite confusing. There's lines going everywhere and all these like funny little symbols. And when you start exploring the world of astrology, your very first step is to start memorizing all these characteristics about the zodiac signs and memorizing all this information about the planets. It reminds me of school. It reminds me of university. I memorized all sorts of things, did incredibly well on all sorts of tests, and then proceeded to forget everything, because I didn't make it real for myself. I didn't embody the information. And as I started to study astrology, every single book I opened or every single course I signed up for just was a variation on the theme: memorize this, memorize this, memorize this. And so, I mean, eventually something's going to sink in and it'll stick, but it feels like it felt like something I was detached from, versus understanding that, wow, guess what? The energy of the planets is the very same energy that exists within your chakra system. So if I can work with classes that embody the energy of the planets through working with specific chakras, that's going to mean a lot more to me. If I'm doing a 6th chakra class, a class linked to the moon, that's going to feel so different than if I'm doing, for example, a 3rd chakra class, a class that's linked to that fiery energy of Aries. And so by learning it this way, I start to embody that planetary energy, and I get to really reap the benefits of what all this planetary energy that's available to me is all about. The energy of the sky, the energy in the planets, is the very same energy that's found in your chakra system. Are the chakras real? There's energy moving within you. At times you feel depleted, at times you have more energy. It's an energy management system. Learn how to maximize on that energy that's available to you. And that energy doesn't end, with this body. We say the chakras are like portals of energy. And where does that energy connect to? It connects to that planetary, that universal energy. Start to feel that, that expansiveness. And it's a great time to be talking about this under the full moon of Sagittarius, because it is this expansive, optimistic energy, right? So this is a time to seek new adventures, to, whether it's to, travel to new horizons, literally, or to expand your horizons by traveling, or to travel through the mind to explore new things, new subjects, new things that excite you and interest you. So it's a wonderful time for new explorations. And that is one of the reasons too why we're beginning our coursework this Friday. We're just coming off of the full moon. We're still in that Sagittarius energy of expanding our horizons and letting ourselves explore. Is there something to this? Is there something to, this whole realm of astrology that's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and how much of it is relevant to me? How much of it could be helpful and useful to me in some ways? And those are the things that we're going to explore. We're not, I mean, this is the type of study that can go on and on and on. And I'm certain I will be adding more to this for you. That's why we created this sort of introductory offer for everyone, because I know Um, I'm in it now. I know there's going to be more to come. And those of you who sign up now, this is why that's valuable, is that we're laying a very strong foundation for where we are going to go year upon year upon year, because I don't see this ending anytime soon. But everything that I offer you is going to be very high value, so that you feel the shifts within your body and you see the shifts happening within your life. So we're not going to sit down and memorize information about astrology. We're going to learn some of the facts. We're going to, it's not that you're not going to learn anything by thinking and reading, but you're going to learn how to embody that energy and to use that energy to create necessary changes. And we can look at our chart and get clues of, where should I go next? Is this the best time for me to be working towards something? Is this a time of pushing forward or a time of rest and renewal? We're going to work with the energies that are available to us. It's nature. There are natural cycles in the universe, and we should learn how to start working more with them versus against them. And this full moon is also part of this entire process that we're going to go through over the course of the year. Some of you were a bit concerned about, am I signing up for a whole year's worth of work? And it felt a little bit daunting. The way the course works is one class is released to you every 3 days. So every 3 days you have a short lecture and a yoga class available to you. We start really basic. The first few classes are going to feel really, really basic and simple to you. And then we're going to build. We're building a foundation, and things will get a little more intriguing, a little more complex. And so just know that as you dive in, which is nice, we start off super simple, and then slowly we build a foundation so that we can dive a little deeper and explore ourselves further. So how this 12-month process works is that once a month, we'll get together like we're doing tonight for a full moon class. I'm just going to do sort of a sampling of what a yoga class, Kundalini Yoga class related to that Sagittarius energy would be like today. But when we get together as part of the training, we're going to break this down further, because there's also an additional, you get 100 hours of teacher training credits if you sign up for that option. So we're also going to break down the class itself, how you can create classes for yourself, for your students, if that interests you. We will work with mantra, mudra, and all of the elements that are tied into the Kundalini practice and how they relate to astrology. So don't let that year commitment overwhelm you, but that year commitment is very purposeful, and it's how we began the self-mastery series as well, in that year-long format, because it's easy to do something, check the box. Okay, great. I did that course, Yoga of Astrology, check, done. But this is personal work. There's no end to personal work. This is deep inner work. And the more you do, the more you get out of it. It is a bit of a bottomless pit, right? The more you dig down, the more you realize there is to unearth, to discover. And so even when you're done the course, you can keep coming back for each one of these full moon experiences. Now, you'll have new moon classes within the pre-recorded content. There's 40 different classes in there, and it includes a practice for each of the new moons. And then we'll get together to do full moon practices. And you're going to have worksheets to work with, because if you've learned anything about new moons and how they tie into manifestation, we just had a new moon 2 weeks ago. Well, does that mean that the intentions you set 2 weeks ago are manifesting now? Well, yes and no. We need to see some sort of growth and development that will have happened since the last new moon, the Taurus new moon. But now we're at a Sagittarius full moon. So we also want to have the ability to look back 6 months ago when we were in the Sagittarius new moon. And hopefully that didn't make your head spin, but by working with the worksheets that I'm going to give you, working together for the full year, you're going to be able to look back at the intentions that you set for the Sagittarius new moon when you get to the Sagittarius full moon. That will have given you a full 6-month cycle to work on the intentions set related to Sagittarius energy, higher learning, philosophy, wisdom, freedom, the freedom to live as your authentic self. So this is what we're working with right now, tonight, today, this Sagittarius energy. So we are going to jump into class. If this is new to you, please listen to your body. There's no pressure to keep up. You stop and rest when you need to rest, and start back when you're ready. We will work with the mantra Sat Nam, which is truth. We're connecting with the truth of who you are, your authenticity, the freedom to be your authentic self, and Wahe Guru, this celebratory, expansive, optimistic sort of energy. And that's how we're going to begin our class, with the mantra Sat Nam, Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru. And the mudra that will begin with the thumb and index finger are touching when we begin our class. It's a very simple movement, very expansive movement. This is your Jupiter finger, and Jupiter is the planetary ruler of the sign Sagittarius. So there's going to be elements that I'm going to layer in that when we get into the course itself, that will break down more. It's like, why are we using this particular mudra? Because this particular finger is linked to the planet that's linked to the particular zodiac sign we're dealing with today. And what if I'm not a Sagittarius? Should I be doing Sagittarius full moon practices? Yes, because we all have some Sagittarius energy within us. It's an archetype. We all want that to develop those qualities within us. They already exist within us. Okay, so there's many layers to the practice that we're doing. I'm not going to break it all down tonight, but that's the type of thing that we will do when we get into the full course. And so for today, we're going to jump into the practice, and I encourage you, if you have questions about the course, Raquel's in the background. She's taking questions in the chat box. I'll stay after class to answer questions, and to just let you know that this introductory offer is 40% off, because I know in my heart there's more coming, and I want to help as many people as possible who are interested in this work be able to get in on this foundation level, so that when we add the next piece or add the next pieces over time, that you'll have a very firm foundation to build upon. And also, everyone who gets in at that introductory level will also get special pricing as we continue to build. So because it is great to work together as a community, to be sort of on the same page, working towards something. It's super inspiring. Those of you who have been part of the community for a while probably already have a sense of that. So I'll hang around after for questions. Just one last thing, the enrollment does close on Friday. So it closes Friday, May 24th. And let's begin. Come sitting tall, spine straight, chin parallel to the floor. Extend your hands out over your knees, thumb and index finger pressed together. Close your eyes, go inward, breathe deep, long, deep inhale. Full and complete exhale. Long, deep inhale. Full and complete exhale. Keeping the eyes closed. The focus on you. Rub your palms together briskly. Hands to heart center, shoulders relaxed. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Om Nana Gurudeva Nama. Om Nana Gurudeva Nama. Om Nana Gurudeva Nama. Inhale deeply and hold. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Stay connected to that place of peace deep inside. With the eyes closed, exhale. One more. Deep inhale, fill the heart. And exhale. Release the arms, shake it out, let it go. Thumb and index finger touch. Left arm comes up overhead. As you lower the arm, try and keep it relatively at the level of the heart. And then the right arm. It's Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Shoulders relaxed. Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru. Close your eyes. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru. 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 Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Wahe Guru, Waheguru, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Last time, Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Extend both arms straight up, palms together, deep inhale. Keep reaching high, exhale. Inhale, reach up as high as you can. On the exhale, lower the thumbs to the third eye point. Deep inhale here. Exhale, release your arms, shake it out, let it go. Plant the palms to the floor, roll over the knees, uncross your ankles. Left foot between the hands, bring the body tall. Option to stay on your right knee, that's perfectly fine. If you choose, curl the right toes under, straighten the back leg. Bring the palms to touch. Arms out to the sides, Sat, bring them forward. Nam, Sat, Nam, straight up, Waheguru, Waheguru, up to the sides, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Last round, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Deep inhale. Hold it, exhale. Deep inhale, exhale, drop the right knee to the floor, palms to the earth. Bring the left knee to the floor. Press all the way back into child's pose. Only when you feel ready, there's no need to rush. Come to your hands and knees. Stay in child's pose longer if you need. Right foot between the hands. Bring the body tall. Option to keep the left knee exactly where it is or straighten the leg. Palms together, open. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, and up. Waheguru, Waheguru. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, 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 Waheguru, Waheguru. Last round, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Inhale. Hold it, exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale, drop the left knee, palms to the floor. Bring the right knee to the floor. Press all the way back into child's pose. When you feel ready, bring the body forward. Lift the feet, cross the ankles. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Two more. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Last time. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Inhale. Exhale, release the legs, widen the knees. Press all the way back. Keep the hands exactly where they are. Drop the forehead to the earth. Only when you feel ready, come back onto your hands and knees. Getting into the second chakra, into the hips. You can stay on your knees and simply work with the mantra or step all the way back to plank. Left foot to the outside of the left hand. Sat. Bring the leg back. Nam. Right leg. Sat. Nam. Wahe. Guru. Wahe. Guru. Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Wahe. Guru. Wahe. Guru. Last round. Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Wahe. Guru. Wahe. Guru. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the knees to the floor. Walk yourself back until you're standing on your knees. If there's pressure in the knees, sit in easy pose and simply work with the arms. Sit back on the heels, palms come overhead, palms touch. Sat, fingertips to the floor. Nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Sat, 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 nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Two more rounds. Sat, nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Sat, nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Deep inhale. Hold it here, exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. Swing the legs out from underneath you. Bring the legs into easy pose. Thumb to index, Jupiter finger again. Extend the arms, palms face the sky. Twist to your left. Sat, twist to your right. Nam, left. Wa, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Sat, nam, 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 sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Two more. Sat, nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Sat, nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Come to center, deep inhale. Stay here, exhale. Breathe deep, fill the heart, inhale. Stay here, exhale. Keep the arms where they are if you can. It's okay to help yourself up with your hands if you need to. Use the strength of the belly. Inhale, come to standing. Uncross the legs. Bend the arms again. Left arm up overhead as the left leg comes up. Sat, right side. Nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Sat, nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Sat, nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, wahe guru. Sat, nam, sat, nam, wahe guru, Waheguru. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. 2 more rounds. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Sat Nam, Sat Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Stand tall, arms extended, deep inhale. Stay here, exhale. Breathe deep, fill the heart, inhale. Stay here, exhale. Keep the thumb and index finger touching. Widen your stance. Relax the shoulders. Draw the strength of the belly to support the arms. Don't rely on your muscles. Rely on that deep inner strength. You can stay in standing and simply work with the arms, or if you choose, circle the arms backwards as you come down. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, circle forward. Come up, Waheguru, Waheguru. Circle back, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, circle forward. Waheguru, Waheguru. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, 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 Waheguru, Waheguru. 2 more full rounds. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Stay in stillness, arms extended, inhale. Stay as you are, exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale, release the arms. Shake it out. Step to the top of your mat. From here, option to step back with the left leg and bring the knee towards the floor, or simply take a small step back. Either is perfectly fine. When you're ready, extend the arms as the leg goes back. Sat. Hold powerfully. Nam. Sat. Nam. Waheguru. Waheguru. Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Waheguru. Waheguru. One more time. Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Waheguru. Waheguru. Inhale. Exhale. Same thing, other side. Option to take a small step back. When you're ready. Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Waheguru. Waheguru. Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Waheguru. Waheguru. Sat. Nam. Sat. Nam. Waheguru. Waheguru. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Thumb and index finger touch. Inhale the arms up to the level of the shoulders. Set the feet wide on your mat, wider than hip distance. Bring the right hand to the left foot. Sat, Nam. Same thing other side. Sat, Nam. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Sat, Nam. 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 Sat, Nam. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Last round. Sat, Nam. Sat, Nam. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Deep inhale. Be still. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Release the arms, shake it out. Bring the feet a little bit closer. Thumb and index finger touch again. You can stay in standing. There's no need to go down into a squat if that doesn't feel right for you. Same motion with the arms. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Coming back up. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. 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 Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Two more rounds. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. Extend both arms out. Deep inhale. Be still. Exhale. Be completely still. Shoulders relaxed. Breathe deeply. Inhale. Hold it here. Exhale. Let the hands be soft, open, and ready to receive. Stay open. Inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Bring the feet closer together. Drop down onto your knees. Sit back on your heels. If there's pressure in the knees, please come into easy pose and simply work with the arms. Bending the arms. Similar to before. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Vaheguru, Vaheguru. 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 Sat, Nam, Sat Nam Waheguru, Waheguru. Sat 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 Nam, Sat Nam Waheguru, Waheguru. Two more. Sat Nam, Sat Nam Waheguru, Waheguru. Sat Nam, Sat Nam Waheguru, Waheguru. Extend the arms, deep inhale. Stay here, exhale. Soften the shoulders. Soften the hands. Stay open. Soften those rigid beliefs. Stay open. Stay open to receive. Deep inhale. Exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Palms to the floor on the hands and knees. Option to keep the knees on the floor or step all the way back to plank. Just a couple of rounds. You can do this. Pull the belly up. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Press all the way back. Waheguru, Waheguru. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Waheguru, Waheguru. One more. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Wahe. And one more for good luck. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Waheguru, Waheguru. Deep inhale. Stay here, exhale. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows lower all the way to the earth. Use your hands to roll over onto your back. Draw both knees into your chest and rock the body side to side. Extend the legs to the floor, bring your arms to your sides with the palms facing the sky. Find that place of surrender, that place of release, that place of deep trust. The body be heavy. So let yourself go. Inhale to wake up the heart, deep inhale. And exhale. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Rub the soles of the feet and the palms together over top of the body, stimulating all 72,000 nerve. Tuck your hands underneath your knees. Rock up and back on your spine, come sitting tall, hands at heart center. Thumbs pressed up against the sternum, the fingertips point to the sky, pull the shoulders back, right, opening across the heart. Open the heart, open the mind. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. And inhale to close. Inhale. Sigh. Nam. So the Sagittarius full moon is not a one-day thing. We're already in the energy of that full moon, and it's about truth and something wanting to be revealed to you. Maybe it's something you've known for a long time that you haven't wanted to acknowledge, and you can't stuff it down any longer because it's holding you back. There is something that will be illuminated by this full moon that you can no longer ignore. And it's okay, because Sagittarius is that energy of, that expansive, optimistic, take a risk, take the leap, and the net will appear. So if you're ready for something new, for a change, this is a beautiful energy to work with. And if you want to join us for this journey, we'll be journeying together forever because I love getting together with you as a community. I see so many familiar faces on here today, and it warms my heart. People from all over, and yeah, it's a beautiful gift to be able to get together and really work on something so positive and something so life affirming, and just to be in this positive vibration and support each other, when so often we look around and things can seem a little bit bleak and overwhelming, and we need these spaces, that we need this this positive energy to keep building and building and building, because that's how we go back out there and face and transform, do all the work that needs to be done. It's got to start here. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being in community with us. And I'll just ask Raquel, who's hiding back there in the background, if there's any questions that need to be answered about tonight's class or the Yoga Astrology course that's open for registration until Friday.
Yes, so I do have a few questions. I did just pop the link into the chat for those of you who are asking for the registration. So the first question is, can you explain the difference between the self-study and the live? And
for sure. So there's the coursework itself, which will, if you decide to do one class every 3 days, the coursework itself will take you from this Friday, if you decide to start Friday, from May 24th right up until September 12th. You can spread it out longer. It's really up to you how you want to go through that portion of the course. But if you decide to do the 100-hour teacher training credit option, that's when we also meet once a month, and we will do something similar. You know, we'll have our theme of the month. We'll be working with the lunar energy of that month, and then we're going to take it deeper so that, you know, now we could sit down and dissect what we just did in the class and why, and create another class, and add in different elements of, you know, mantra and mudra and ways of working with the Sagittarius energy. And in terms of the astrology, we really want to keep it on a high level. We want to keep it, you know, because you can really get lost in the detail of it. We want to say, what are the key indicators that could be useful to me right now, that could help me with greater self-awareness, maximizing on my strengths, and, you know, lighting up my path and helping me fulfill what, you know, fulfill my destiny, live to your highest potential, just basically feel good again and be excited about life again and get on your path. So that's the difference. If you do that 100-hour teacher training option, then we're getting together every month for an additional class. There'll be extra worksheets, there'll be extra self-inquiry work, nothing overwhelming, just sort of a deep dive into that particular energy of that particular moment in time. And if, you know, if you do it this year, you'll be invited again to do it when the course runs again the year after that. And right now we're starting basic. I said we're on that introductory level, but as time goes on, we're going to add more layers, because it's not just the fact that it's a Sagittarius full moon. We also are going to talk about the planet that rules Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, but that's not all that's going on in the sky. There's also, you know, Venus is involved right now, and there's, you know, there's different conjunctions and planetary aspects. And I mean, we could go on and on and on, but we're going to stay high level and, you know, get the quickest results we can by being really focused. And then we'll add on more subtleties, just like with your yoga practice. You know, you start off learning foundational stuff, and then as your practice deepens, you know, you have a whole different experience of it. So it never gets boring. Hopefully it'll get more and more interesting as time goes on.
So also just to clarify then, the self-study versus the participating in the lives, it's not that it's not teacher train, like someone's asking if there's a
Yeah.
teacher training option that doesn't require painful.
Yeah, so in case you haven't looked at the page yet, there's a payment plan option and a pay in full option. The payment plan option doesn't include those 12 extra classes where we get together every month. So it's a 60-hour teacher training credits. You get an additional 40 hours credits if you join us for those 12 extra classes, because of the additional work that will be given to you every month. So it's 60 hours teacher training credits in the self-study. The payment plan option and the pay in full option is 100-hour teacher training credits. And that's where you get the 12 additional lessons.
Perfect.
There's already, I'm sure there's over 40 lessons. It's like I said, it started off as a teeny tiny project, and then it just ballooned. And I know there's more to come. So.
Perfect. Also, if there are people who are already enrolled in your other courses, like the self-mastery, how do they fit this in?
Yeah, that's a really great question. That came up quite a bit this week. So just to address those of you who are in the middle of, many of you are right at the last part of Heal Your Heart. So at the moment, it'll be super easy to integrate into what you're doing, because it's just one class every 3 days. So once we get into the first 6 days of Master Your Mind, which is going to start, I believe it's June 6th, you'll get an email from me shortly on that. During that 6-day period, you can pause on doing the Yoga of Astrology classes, and you can just catch up with them when you're in the 40-day period of Master Your Mind. So, you know, it's all self-discovery work. So it does integrate really, really well, especially when you get to the Master Your Mind piece, because that's, you know, I mean, it's all deep inner work, but by the time you get there, you've already done so much through Crystallize Your Vision, Breakthrough Blocks, Heal Your Heart. I think this will be much much easier to integrate into what you're doing versus if we had introduced it back in Crystallize Your Vision, where it's all new. And this Yoga of Astrology stuff, what you're learning here, you can put it up against your Crystallize Your Vision stuff to solidify. Oh yeah, do a check-in on that from the astrology perspective. How does this vision I created for myself back at the start of the year align or not align what I'm seeing astrologically? So that's going to be a fun exercise. And I think what we'll do is we'll do a special class specifically for those in the self-mastery series where we can do exactly that, where we can go back to our Crystallize Your Vision lesson and look at it put up against the different astrological markers. So that's going to be fun to do.
Great. I think those are the main questions. I just wanted to note that it looks like there are a number of people who have started to join the call like towards the 9 o'clock. So for those of you who are joining late and maybe missed the timing of the call, there is a recorded version, like this call is being recorded, so you will receive that.
Yeah, and just on that note, the team is making that recording only available for the next 24 hours. So I'm going to try to get that recording out to you as soon as possible. And that's simply to help those who are sitting on the fence decide whether the Yoga of Astrology course, if this feels like it's right for them. So remember, you do get up to 100 hours of teacher training credits. This is not just for teachers. This is more deep self-discovery work. And I find it very exciting because it is that, like I said, this is empowering work. It's you discovering more about yourself. And really, ideally maximizing on this journey and living it to the fullest. So we're going to start on Friday. That's when the first lesson is released, but we're going to have our meet and greet for the Yoga of Astrology on Wednesday. So you'll have already got 2 classes under your belt by the time we meet next Wednesday, but it's all very easy. Press and play, super easy for you to follow along, and then we'll do our debrief next Wednesday. Thank you for being here. Anything else, Raquel, before we sign off?
No, I think we're good. I just once again put the link in case anyone has additional questions and or wants to sign up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Satnam.